Hello, and welcome to our first video on Introduction to Gardening in Florida. In this video, we are going to talk about growing zones and why it is important to know which one you are in. But first, take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos. Understanding the zones you live in can mean the difference between success and failure in your garden. Making sure you grow the plants for your area will help make sure that your plants are happy and healthy year after year. The growing zone map, or also called a hardiness map, refers to regions in the U.S. based on the average low winter temperature. This map was developed by the USDA. Now you have to keep in mind that some plants can adapt to different conditions, such as the type of soil you have or even your watering habits. But most plants cannot adapt to hot or cold temperatures. For example, greens like kale, collards, lettuces can grow up north in the summer, but not in the winter because it's too cold. Whereas here in Florida, it's the opposite. They can grow here in our winter because they're mild compared to up north, but our summers are too hot and humid for them to grow healthy. This is where zones can help you grow your crop. Now, hardiness zones are a map of the U.S. that is broken down into 13 individual zones. These zones include Alaska and Hawaii, as well as Puerto Rico. Each zone represents low temperatures in 10-degree increments, and each zone is further broken down into two additional zones, Zone A and B. These represent a 5-degree increment difference. The first zone lies in the coldest and most northern area of Alaska, as you can see by the map. In this zone, winter temperatures can drop as low as -60. On the other end of the spectrum, the southernmost part of the scale lies in Zone 13, as you can see, where winter lows remain above 65 degrees Fahrenheit. In the U.S., these regions are located on or near the equator and consist of Puerto Rico and remote locations in Hawaii. Okay, now that you have a basic understanding of what growing zones or hardiness zones are, let's talk about what zone Florida is in. Well, that's really going to depend on where you live in Florida. Florida is actually broken down into 4 zones, zones 8, 9, 10, and 11. And due to Florida's long summers and high humidity and warm nights, plants can very much be affected by its ability to survive in the temperatures. So you're growing in the appropriate zone. Florida is then broken down into 5-degree increments. So you have like Zone 8A, Zone 8B, and so on. A simple way to help break this down and remember is that North Florida is zones 8A through 9A. Central Florida consists of zones 9B through 10A, and South Florida 10B through 11A. Keep in mind, these are all just averages. We may have early winter, or it may be colder than normal, or we could have a late freeze, or we may have a warmer than average year and get no frost or freeze at all. North Florida weather is more like the rest of the United States compared to any other part of the state, in that they have seasons. You can get some chill weather up there during the wintertime. The coldest month of the year for North Florida is January, where the overnight low temperatures averages 38 degrees Fahrenheit during this month. But during the summertime, temperatures can soar to the lows in the upper 90s. Then you have Central Florida, where we are located. This has more of a subtropical environment. The warmest months for Central Florida on average is August. It also has the wettest month for them as well. The average temperature in Central Florida throughout August is about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Central Florida's coldest month is also January, where the average low during this time can be around 53 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is when you're most likely to get a freeze, is January and February. However, they do randomly see freezing weather, as I just said. The record low in Central Florida is about 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It just really depends whether you're inland or coastal for a lot of these as to what the difference in your temperature will be. When it comes to South Florida, that's more like a tropical environment, where the hottest days of South Florida are in September, with the average temperature in the southernmost part of the state being around 90 degrees in September. And like the rest of the state, January is also the coldest month in the state. The coldest temperatures ever recorded was 30 degrees in Miami. But if you're in the Keys, there has never been a recorded freeze. The lowest temperatures ever seen in the Keys were 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Most vegetables love plenty of sunshine and warm temperatures. If you look at most gardening sites or seed packets, they'll tell you to plant during the warm months. For most of the United States, these conditions are happening during the summer months. Our Florida summers are more like tropical conditions. They are hot and really wet. That combo is not best for most veggies. So even though the packet may say the zone is acceptable for the veggie, the temperatures won't allow it. There's very few vegetables you can grow in the summer here. And as you can see on the charts we'll show you, they'll tell you which ones they are. Most people, though, will plant between September and May. They usually start their seeds in August and start putting the plants in the ground in September. You can grow into the summer months with plants such as okra, peppers, small tomatoes, and partial shade can grow into June or even July, depending on the plant. But most plants cannot handle the heat come August and September. The last thing we're going to go over is what the map will not tell you. You got to keep in mind that this map is a guide to help gardeners choose the correct for their area. But the map does not take several factors into consideration. They don't take maximum temperature. How hot is it going to get? How cold do your winters get? You need to make sure that the plant will survive the hottest part of the summer for your region. Rain in your area. Depending on your plants, some may require lots of watering, like tomatoes or cucumbers, while others survive a desert type environment. So you need to know how much watering to give them, and the proper soil is another thing you need to consider. Is what type of soil do you have? You can be a mile apart from your friend and grow totally different things just because the soil is so different. Also keep in mind that Florida summer heat is much different than other parts of the U.S. The sun or UV light is much stronger, so it feels much hotter than it is. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please check back for other great videos and leave your comments and let me know what you think and what you would like to learn about.